Hey, what's happening out there, YouTube? Carlos, C&L Small Engine Repair and Mobile Service. I hope everybody's doing well. And it is cold in the shop this morning, 28 degrees. It is brutal, I'm telling you. You know, as long as I've lived in West Virginia and in the cold, man, it never gets any easier. I don't see how people that's in the real cold places, I don't see how they deal with it, man. I swear I don't. When I was younger, it didn't bother me. Man, it's cold. I don't like it. It's 30 degrees. I mean, it's like 30 degrees all day. It's 15 at night, you know, and then it's 30 and it's 15. It gets to sucking after a while. But anyway, reason I'm making this video, and I'm sorry guys that I haven't made a video in a while. One reason is we took off right before Thanksgiving, and we took off all the way up until, I think it was the 4th or 5th, Monday, whatever Monday was, 7th, 6th, 5th. Yeah, the 5th, so, or the 4th, something. Anyway, we took all that off. Sometimes it's good to be the boss, you know what I mean? On your own, you're just like, you know what? We burned ourselves out so bad over the summer, man. It was just, in the fall, it was like the never-ending season. And I just wanted to take the holidays off, so I did. I didn't do anything. I laid around. I think I've gained like 4 or 5 pounds. I laid around, man, watched TV, slept till 9. I mean, it's just crazy. Now I'm paying for it now, though. Let me tell you. Anyway, reason I'm making this video is I've had a lot of comments about, you know, I guess our channel is more geared towards the business side of small engine repair, more so than the repairs themselves. We do repairs, but I think most of the subscribers that I've got, or the channel has, is they're looking for information on a business, how to run your business. Well, I get comments and text messages and emails and all kinds of stuff asking these kind of questions. So I'm going to run over some stuff today that I wish somebody would have told me when I first started out. And some of this we may have covered before, but I'm going to just try to be quick. And it's just one part of it is knowing your numbers. Guys, you got to know your numbers, man. No matter what business you got, somebody's got to run that. Somebody's got to manage that business. Just like you as a person and as a technician has to manage your time, somebody has to manage the business for it to run smooth. Now, you can go out here and just, you know, the first year you was in business, man, you was just making money. You was just getting the money. You was just surprised you was making money. But as your business grows, you're going to run into roadblocks. You're going to run into things that you're like, I want to do this better. You know, this isn't working. This is working. You know, this is where I'm making money. I'm not making money over here. How can I do all this? What can I do to change it? Okay. First part to any business is you have to know your numbers. Now, I'm not talking about your basic. I know how much money. I hear guys all the time in business say this. I know how much money I made last year. And that's good. You should know. I mean, yeah, you better know how much you made. But did you make it or did the company make it? There's a difference. I'm just going to throw some numbers out there. For instance, if your business made $75,000 last year, then you got to keep about 40 of that. It's just the way it is. 40, maybe 45. Okay. Unless, you know, you're one of these guys that don't have a license, you don't have insurance, you don't pay taxes, and then still I can't see them making 75 grand. Doing the volume of business that you have to do to make 75 grand, because most of those guys, man, are like your shade trees. You know, they're cleaning out carburetors for $20. You know, unless I can clean a carburetor out in 20, 25 minutes at the most, it's going to be more than $20. I'm going to tell you that now. You can't make a living in this business doing stuff for 25 and $30 an hour. I mean, if you're a hobbyist, you're just wanting to make extra money, that's good. But if you're actually trying to make a business grow and be your sole part of your money, where you get your money, your primary part, you're not going to grow it. You're not going to do much with that. You're just not. You're not in the game This is my opinion. I don't see how you can make any money ordering stuff off of Amazon, them cheap parts and all that kind of stuff, without being a dealer of some kind. I just don't see how you can make it, because you got to make money on every piece. You know, you're making money by the hour on your parts, motors that you flip, stuff. I mean, you just always got to be working, and this is part of knowing your numbers. So, how do we know our numbers? What does CNL do to know our numbers? One is this: we keep a log of every customer that comes in the shop. Okay, we don't have no fancy barcode systems or computer software or anything like that. This is how I do it. Okay, and this works for me. It might not work for you, but this works for me. See this yellow piece of paper right here? Comes out one of them big legal pads. All right, guys, I take one of these and I buy me a new one every year, and I write at the top, zero turn, riding mower, different pages, you know, zero turn, turn the page, riding mower, push mower, then two strokes. Now, I don't break the two strokes out like was actually shown to me, you know, how one guy does it. He breaks it down into weed eaters, blowers. He breaks his stuff down into manufacturers like Troy-Bilt, Steel, Echo, whatever. Okay, I mean he breaks it way down, way down. He knows his numbers more than I do. And when I first started, I didn't know, and I just happened to run into a guy and was talking to him, and owns another shop, probably about an hour away from here, and he was telling me how he done it. And this works, guys. Write every customer down on a piece of paper. Joe Blow, Troy-Bilt pony, replaced blade and spindles. Okay, so you know that you replaced the blade and the spindle. Now, on my laptop at home, I went to Word. I didn't go to Excel spreadsheets or nothing like that. I went to Word and just created my own form, and I put 2021 inventory. Okay, so when I order my parts, all those parts with part numbers and how many I have go in that. Okay, now nobody's inventory is ever perfect. I can tell you guys, there's things get lost, things get misplaced, things that you don't account for, and that's usually your own fault if you're doing it this way, because I've screwed it up a few times and been like, oh my gosh. The reason we track inventory is in West Virginia, we have an inventory tax. So whatever I buy in 2020, if I don't sell it in 2020, then I have to pay inventory tax on it. We never order parts on the fourth quarter. We don't order anything after October unless we need it. You know what I mean? Unless we have to have it for a repair then. So we don't do stock up orders in the fourth quarter. We do them usually in the first and sometimes in the third. Okay, usually we can stretch it out there. But when you write all that stuff down on your order, I go to home and it's in the policy and procedure book. Yes, we're far enough along that we have a policy and procedure book. My wife has to know what I'm doing. I have to know what she's doing for everything to run smooth. I know how all this works, and she knows how my part works. So I go in, if I use one spindle and one blade for John Doe, or usually two blades because I try to sell them in a set, I go in, I find that part number, or it says spindle, part number 197, whatever. And then I go out from there, and if I've got 5 of them, back it up, delete it out, put 4. That's all there is to it. Blades, I had 6, now I have 4. Now out from that number says reorder point. So I think spindles is when we get down to 4, we order 4. And that can be of any types, the short ones, the tall ones, 3 mountain bolts or 4, just depends. But we try to keep, right now I have 0 in here, 0. We just don't do, I mean, you're not going to do a whole lot of spindles. If I need one, I'll order one. I'm getting ready to place a parts order. Power Distributors started their parts order spring stock up January the 5th, which was Tuesday. And they started theirs then. Gardner has already been doing theirs. Their early stock up order ends the 31st or the end of this month, something like that, 30th to 31st. So guys, get your parts order in. Now, what does keeping all these names on this paper tell me? One, it tells me how many zero turns I worked on, how many push mowers, how many ride mowers, how many two strokes. It also tells me what repairs I done. So I can look at that and go, So every day when I get home, I do the inventory. When that paper gets full, the one that says, for instance, zero turn, if I fill that whole page up for zero turns, on the back of that paper, I just take and flip it over and turn it around. I write down how many spindles, how many carb kits, how many carburetors, that kind of stuff. If I do an oil change, how many quarts of oil? I can tell you right now that C&L went through 14 cases of oil last year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I think it was a lot, okay? Because we did a lot of oil changes last year. We went through 14 cases of oil. I've got 3 quarts of oil, 30 weight, left in the shop, and we don't even use 30 weight that whole lot anymore. We use a lot of 1030 because it's darn cold up here. But anyway, in the summertime it's not, but still 1030. Most of the, I ain't even gonna go there. And we've got 3 quarts of the 2050 hydraulic that we use for hydraulic systems and stuff like that for your hydraulic pumps on your mowers. So we're running pretty thin. I've got 3 half boxes of spark plugs up there. Still got some filters, spark plugs and stuff like that. So you can't really look at all that as far as, I'm getting a call. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but I'm getting a call in. But, when you're looking at all these parts, that way I know what I sold this year. Now, right now, the business is on a steady growth up. It's not like exploding. We picked up quite a bit last year, but it's climbing really good. So, next year we'll probably go through more oil, especially starting this mobile thing where we're going to do maintenance on the road, oil changes and belts and blades and pulleys and clean out carburetors, little stuff like that. We can do that on the road. No reason for it to come down here. And if you've watched one of my other videos, you know why. Neighbors and traffic and just a bunch of mess. But anyway, so we started trying to do the mobile thing. So we'll probably do more. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to right off the top order 14 cases of oil. I'm going to order 10 cases of oil just like I always do. Like I have for the last 2 or 3 years, I'm going to order 10 cases of oil. That should carry me through at least the busy season. Then after the busy season, then you make some money. The company makes the money. And you can spend it back out. But you don't want to run yourself, guys. You don't want to put everything into a stock order because no matter how much record keeping you do, it's still rolling the dice. Last year, I'm going to show you here in a minute, we replaced over 50. I don't know if we replaced them or between replaced them and selling them, 52 solenoids. 52 of them. Man, to me, that's a lot to change solenoids. I don't know what happened. I guess everybody got theirs fried out. I don't know. But we got all these solenoids done. Got them took care of. 50 of them. And what I do is, I'll go ahead and show you right real quick. This is a 33431, I think, from Oregon. This is a universal deal right here, guys. Okay, so it doesn't matter how it mounts. See how there's 2 mounting things on there? Doesn't matter how it mounts. It's a better picture of it. Doesn't matter how it mounts. Okay. Also, it doesn't matter if it's one of the old ones that's got the post connector on it that just slides down over that screw right there, or that screw part right there, the bolt part, just slides down over that. Or if it's got the spades, like 99% of the new ones do, in the kit, there is some spades in there. And you just take those spades and put them down on there and put your nut on top of it. It'll cover anything. These things are awesome, guys. 33431. I'm 99% sure that's the part number on those. And we went through 50 some of them last year. How would I have known that if I didn't keep a record? We wouldn't have. So this year, I'm going to order 20 of those things. I'm going to order 20 right off the bat. Why not? They don't cost that much. And if we're going to replace that many, now there's part of that rolling that dice. Are we going to replace? We may not replace not a one this year, but we're going to order about 20 of them anyway. Two, on that paper, you see, you can break all that down. If you want to go a step further, like my buddy does, you can break it down. How many Echoes did you work on last year? How many Steels did you work on? Were they Steel backpack blowers or Steel weed eaters? Were they Echo? What were they? Were they SRM 225s? You know, I mean, what was you working on? Because that way, see, when he knows that he replaced 5 carburetors on an SRM 225, well, he knows he's going to order 2 or 3 of those. What I try to do is whatever I've done for the year, I try to hit between middle and 3/4. So like say if you replaced 100 of something, you want to order 50 of those in the spring, maybe 75 of them. But I like to keep it, man, about half with that first stock up order. Because like I said, one, I have to pay inventory tax on it. Now I've got other stuff in here that I had to pay inventory tax on. Blades, mufflers, belts, pulleys, stuff that I never even sold. And you know, I didn't sell not a one of them. Not a one of them. Now this year, I could sell every one I got. It's a rolling the dice thing. But you still got to break it down. So there's how you order your parts and how to keep track. Another thing to do too, guys, let me tell you something. This Craftsman stuff that rolled out 2 or 3 years ago, and Craftsman really pushed these mowers and all this hard with the commercials and all the advertising they done, and people run out and bought them because they thought they were the old Craftsman. They went to Lowe's, you know, or Home Depot, whoever here or Lowe's has them. And I mean, they've got the full line, man. Push mowers, trimmers, whatever. I mean, it's crazy. So whatever that is, whatever's selling big in your part of the country, okay, go to your big box stores, lift the hood, take a picture of the model number, lift the seat, take a picture of the model number, go in Lowe's, look at the trimmer. I can tell you right now, Craftsman engines on their weed trimmers are made by MTD. So any of you guys ever mess with an MTD engine, you know it's coming, okay? Straight up, okay? It's coming. So what you're going to have to do is go in there, get the model numbers off those trimmers, and go ahead and look up the model number and look up a carburetor kit for them. Order you a couple. They're coming. They're coming, guys. These new plastic carburetors that Briggs are running, go ahead and order you a couple of them. Guarantee you're going to need them for the 7.25s and the 7.75 engines that's on these Craftsman. You're going to need them. These Honda parts that's on some of them, you better order them. Man, everybody got caught with their pants down last year, including me. I didn't think the coronavirus was going to slow down production and slow down manufacturing, slow down shipping and all that kind of stuff, transportation. Nobody did. Nobody thought, you know, could see that far in the future. But it did, and it kind of hurt business a little bit. I mean, it didn't really hurt the business, I can't say it, but darn it sure was inconvenient sometimes to try to find a part that you couldn't. You find the part, and then you had to it was on back order, and you was waiting on it. I don't know how many lawn care guys, including myself, because we done lawn care last year. I paid for a mower, that Bradley 36 I got. I paid for it. I done made the first payment on it before I ever got it. No kidding. That brings me to this. All right, I went and got a loan for the mower. If I would have been running a cash-only business and wouldn't have kept any numbers, wasn't paying no taxes, and that's our main source of income for the family, when I went out there to buy that mower, they asked me, so how much money did you make last year? I told them, let's just throw another number out there. Let's say 75. Say you tell the loan officer, yeah, the company made 75 grand last year. Oh, that's awesome. You should not have a problem getting this loan, blah, blah, blah. But we will need copies of your tax returns. Here we go. Or if you are on salary through your company, then they're going to need your W-2s. All right, you take your W-2s out there and you got $17,000 on them. And they're like, I thought you said you made 75. Well, you know, we did, but cash gives me amnesia. Sometimes I forget to pay my taxes on cash money. Because this is a lot of cash business, guys. You handle a lot of cash. And But we don't count that all the time, and they're going to look at you and say, we don't count it either. If it's not on this piece of paper, we're not counting it. We can't just take the bank's not going to take your word that you made 75 when you claimed 17 or 17, and you had $10,000 worth of overhead that you took off on your taxes. It makes it look like you made $7,000 last year. Now, I'm telling you guys, you got to know your numbers. You got to run your business right. If you want your business to exceed and to grow, just do it right, man. Just do it right. Get you a business license, pay your taxes like you're supposed to, be a functioning member of society, okay? Do what you're supposed to do. Don't be one of these guys out here trying to rip Uncle Sam off. I know he takes way too much, in my opinion. He takes way too much. But the Bible also tells us, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Give unto the Lord what's the Lord's. So, hey, just follow what the word says, man, is the way I do it. If it's Caesar's, I give it to Caesar. Pay your taxes, do things right, and you don't have nothing to worry about. At the end of the year, you can fill out those taxes. You got all your numbers. It's a whiz, man, to go down through when you know all your numbers and pop them off. Now, my wife is an office gal. That's what she's done most of her life, is work in a business office. She is a whiz at some of this stuff. She keeps track of all the money that comes in, of course, right? Yeah, ha ha he. Yeah, the woman's going to take care of all the cash, which is good, because I'm that guy that if I'm walking by and I say, "Ooh, boy, I sure would like." There is Mike from Power Distributors calling me. Guys, I got to get this. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Hey, sorry, man. I've been waiting on that call for like a week. He's been on vacation for a week, 2 weeks. So I had to get some things straightened out. We're working. Just to let you in on it. We're probably going to start carrying Oregon brand equipment, and getting all that set up's kind of crazy, but it works anyway. Mowers. I don't think I'm going to get into the battery stuff, but we might. I don't know. It just depends. But as far as mowers, we're going to start carrying some Oregon mowers. So anyway, what I was saying about my wife, she takes care of all the money, because I'm that guy that if I'm walking through somewhere and I see something, I'm like, oh, I'd like to have that. Yeah, I want that new lift. You know, with a budget, you can't just do that. When you're running a business on a budget, it goes back to this. You can't have a budget unless you know your numbers. So you got to get the budget thing down, man. You got to stick within your budget. That is, it's hard your first or second, third, fourth, about your fourth, third year, you should start showing a pretty good profit. But up until then, it's hard to run a budget, because every penny, it seems like, comes through the door. The front door goes out the back door. Okay, I get it, guys. I've been there. All right, I know it's tough, man. It is tough to start a business from scratch and to grow it. But to grow it, you got to have a budget. You can't spend every penny that comes in the door. So eventually, you're going to have to move that up to where now you've got a budget, and you got to stick to that budget. Somebody's got to be the one managing that budget, being like, look, you went hog wild last time that you was, Now, we don't have Snap-on trucks. I don't have a Snap-on truck come around here. I've worked at dealerships before, and I've seen guys, man, I mean, they might as well just hand their whole paycheck over to the Snap-on guy. I'm not that guy, for sure. Never was. Toolbox does not impress me. I don't care what you got. I've seen them with speakers in them, man, stereos in them, huge. You don't need that many tools to do this job. There's a lot of specialty tools that you do need, but you don't need it. You don't need all that junk, man. You really don't. When you're first starting out and stuff, I mean, if you got to spend money to keep it out of Uncle Sam's hands, that I can understand. If you put it back in your business, that's fine, but you got to have a budget. So if you ever go to hire employees, like I'm probably going to put my wife on the payroll this year, we have to have that in the budget. I mean, once you start it, she gonna, where's my paycheck, buddy? It's like me saying, where's my dinner? She's gonna be like, where's my paycheck? But She'll handle all that. She handles all the taxes, all the money. So if she's going to do the taxes, she's got to know where the money's at, how much money we made, how many in parts we spent. Again, back to that yellow paper. If she looks and she says she matches it up to the bills, I just got 100 of these the other day. That's our work orders that we do. She takes these and she says, okay, Joe Blow. And she always wants me to put the hours on here too, how many hours I worked on something. So that she can look and say, okay, you made $400 out of that $400. There was 120 of it went in parts, and it took you 5 hours to do it. Just throwing some numbers out there. So if that's the way it was, then she can look and she can be like, you know, your hours, because sometimes my math isn't good, and she's like, your hours are not matching up to your work, to the money that's coming in. Your work orders aren't matching the bank account, pretty much to say. And that brings us to this. I had a comment on another video I made that a guy said that he charges $60 an hour. He worked 40 hours a week, and he made $2,400 a week. That's not the way this business works, guys. I'm telling you. Say that you got the customer, say you're just going to work 9 to 5 in your shop. Okay, that means you open the door at 9 o'clock, you shut it at 5 o'clock, and you go home. Okay, if you do that, what about the hours that you're loading and unloading, helping somebody unload and unload equipment, times that you're looking up parts, time that, you know, everything takes up your time. Some guy comes in your shop and wants to hang out and talk to you for 30 minutes. Don't think because you set your prices, say $60 an hour, for instance, and you're going to work 40 hours a week and you're going to make $2,400. Guys, that's not the way this business works, okay? Honestly, to be in business, you count on 50 to 55 hours a week if you want to bill for 40. I'm not saying you can't make $2,000-$3,000 a week. You should be able to. I mean, if you're really rolling it out and you're pricing everything right and your parts and all that. But that doesn't mean that you're going to do that in 40 hours. Okay, that's just not going to happen. And then of course, he didn't make $2,400. The business made $2,400 that week, so he made 12, 13, maybe 1,400. That's about it. So anyway, guys, the importance of having your budget is if you don't know your numbers, you can't have a budget. You don't know what parts to order. None of that kind of stuff. What else is it? I don't write none of this stuff down. That call got me all messed up. Bottom line is this. I'm just leaving it at this. You got to know your numbers. Keep you a track, and that's how we do it. It's on a piece of paper. Keep you a track of every customer that comes through the door. What parts you used. Keep an inventory. That way, you know, I know when you're first starting out, it's hard to get an inventory. But you don't have to put in that much, man, to be a dealer for these other companies. And this is the important thing about being a dealer, okay? And some people won't take this the wrong way. But it's like, somebody has to pay the shipping on those parts, okay? I know if you go over $200 or whatever it is, whatever company you're with, between $200 and $250, then you get free shipping. But somebody's still got to pay for that time that it took you to sit down and do that parts order, to order those parts. So you're going to have to mark your parts up. You don't want to be out here selling parts, man, at dealer prices. It just helps when you've got that extra money coming in. Some of your parts, there's a lot of meat left on the bone. I ain't saying you got to charge them retail on everything, but you got to mark them up some. You're going to make some off your parts. Your time is the most valuable thing. Is you. You are the one that's working on this equipment. You are the one that's doing all this kind of stuff. You should be paid for it. So even down to when the time that you're sitting down for 4 hours, putting in a parts order, figuring all this out, you should be paid for that. You should be compensated for that. So you're going to have to mark up your parts from your dealer prices. If you're not a dealer, then you can't do that. If you're going out here to one of these big box stores buying stuff, for instance, here, I went to Walmart the other day. I just seen this laying there. I'll show you. I went to Walmart the other day, and I was just getting some stuff, and I happened to walk by the clearance aisle. They had a bunch of Briggs & Stratton parts on clearance. For instance, this filter right here. Okay, I bought that filter for $4. It's regularly $15.66. Now I can buy this for $4. This is just about dealer prices, guys. I can buy this for $4. I can mark it up to $6, $7, $8. Okay, I can sell this for $8. No problem. Because if they go to Lowe's or to Walmart and buy it, they're paying $15.66 for it. They're still half. So you're not ripping the customer off. You're actually still providing a service for them. And you should be paid. So this filter right here, I bought it for $4. I'll probably sell it for $6 or $7. That's the name of the business. Look at this. I bought like 4 of these. They're NGK spark plugs for $1.75. But if you can't sell them NGKs, if you can't sell them for $3.50, if you can't double your money on that, something's wrong, man. So say that somebody comes in, and this usually fits like these tillers and stuff. You'll see some tillers with this on it, and this spark plug. So all right, altogether I got $5.75 in this plus tax. So because I didn't whip out the exemption on it, but say I got $6 in this, right? Yeah, right at $6. All right, so I'm gonna make 8 and probably $3.50, so $11.50. So I made $5.50 just on these 2 parts. That's $5.50. You do 100 of these, guys. Guess what? That's an extra $500. That is almost the price of your stock up order. But you got to know. Back to it. You got to know your numbers. Numbers is in everything, in your parts, in your budget. How much money you made, how much you had to get, how much was your profit and loss. A lot of people, they don't even worry about P&L. P&L is profit and loss. Okay, what's your profit and what's your loss? Well, how do you lose in the small engine repair business? When you order $100 worth of parts for a guy's lawnmower and he don't come and get it, that's a loss, because now you're stuck with that piece of equipment. Not saying that you couldn't sell it for $200 or $300, but when your taxes come in, P&L. I lost this. You buy a brand new part and you put it on a mower and it don't fix the mower. Well, you can't charge the customer for it. You either got a choice. You either lose the money on the part or you put the old part back on it. Theft. Somebody steals something. That's a loss. It happens. I've had guys where I would keep my spark plugs and stuff right there on that shelf. I've had people steal spark plugs. I seen a guy steal a spark plug. I didn't care. I was like, okay, fine, go ahead, steal it. I don't care. If it means that much to you to steal a spark plug, because when I buy a shop pack of 100 of them, I might have $1 in it. I'm like, you stole $1. You really thought you was doing something. But also, I remember that dude, the next time he comes in, he's going to pay for that spark plug. So, anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. This video is way, way, way too long. But I hope that you guys got the gist of it, the point of it, to know your numbers, how to keep your numbers, how we do it on a piece of paper. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Every customer that walks in, you got to write all this down. But literally, it takes you 30 seconds, maybe a minute to write that down. That's it. That's all. That's it. And at come towards the end of the year, when you get ready to do this spring stock up order, you know what parts you sold last year so you can sell them now. When you look at your bottom line and say, okay, this is what I actually made, then you can set a budget for the company. You can set a budget for the company just like you set a budget for your household. Same thing, guys. Same thing. Think big. Think big. Okay? Think big business. Everybody out there has worked for somebody or hopefully a bigger company to where they had policy and procedure books. That's why we've got one. Certain things that we do right now, my shop is not OSHA. I want OSHA to walk in here. So that's the next thing on the list. We got to get this thing, man, OSHA compliant. I mean, we are for the most part, but there's a few little things that we're not. I've worked with companies in safety and stuff before, and trust me, we'd be hurting. Yeah, we'd be hurting. But we're getting ready to take care of that. The biggest thing is I checked my fire extinguisher and my first aid kit. They're both expired. So I've got to get a new fire extinguisher and a new safety kit, first aid kit, that kind of thing. And I got to tape off the floors. I got little things like that to do. Fuel area, I got to mark all that off. And a red box around the triangle on the floor. I mean, it's ridiculous that you got to do that in a shop this size, but you do. Anyway, guys, man, I hope this video helps somebody out there. Sorry for the call and the interruption in the middle of it and all that. But I got to go. I got to run. So until next time, no matter what you do, do it for the glory of God, or it's not worth doing. And CNL is out.